Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about poop, and by poop, I mean this book. I got this book as kind of a gag book, but there's actually some cool information in here. Let's dive on into it. So today we are talking about this book, How to Make Yourself Poop, and 999 other tips all runners should know. Like I said in the intro, I thought this was just going to be a gag book, but there's a lot of really great information in here. And before I kick it off, I just have to say Miss Megan here, as I was reading just like the back and all the things about her. There's a picture of Miss Megan. It just says on here that she once held the Guinness World Record for the fastest marathon dressed as a fast food item. I just thought that was super bizarre, and I was like, dude, I just have to read this book because Megan seems super cool. So I just thought that was really interesting and kind of funny. Another thing that I really love about this book is that, the tips are short, right? They're short and digestible, which is fantastic for most runners as they're kind of absorbing all there is to know about the running world. The downside of that is that if you're like me and you want to know all the whys and the details and the data behind it, you're not going to get that inside of this book. With a book that's not very big and there's literally 1,000 tips in here, you can imagine that the tips aren't very long. So if you're looking for something incredibly detailed, this isn't the book for you. However, the short tips that they do have are really important and they're really impactful. The training tips that they had, whether you're training your first 5K, 10K, half marathon, full marathon, are really great training tips. And there's a lot of really effective running workouts that you can incorporate into your training to really benefit your speed and your endurance and really become a better runner. So, really you can get some good information from just the tips that are inside of this book. Now, if you are a super seasoned athlete, if you're a professional runner, I don't think that you're going to read this book and like, oh, this is something I never knew. But if you're a beginner runner or you're just starting to get into racing, literally there is 1,000 tips in here that you really should know going into a race. And even as an avid runner, I was still reading this book, enjoying it, because there's a lot of tips and things that you're like, oh yeah, like, I kind of remember that, and, oh yeah, like, that's a good tip right there. So I really think that there is something in this book for everyone, especially because the topics of the tips literally expand across the board. You guys, the topics can get a little wild. I mean, we're literally reading a book about poop, right? So there's things in this book about like how women can pee discreetly, lacing your shoes, running with a jogging stroller, running with your dog, even parts about like conceiving a baby. So there is something in this book for everyone. And I really appreciate that because there are so many different runners in the world. We all come from different backgrounds and have different needs, and there is literally something in here for everybody. Another thing that I really, really like is that in the back of the book, there is references. So if you are going through the tips and you feel like you want some more information, there are references to the Runner's World articles that will go into more depth on any of the tips and topics from inside of this book, and I thought that was really cool, as well as an index. So if you read this book and you remember a tip or two, but you don't know what page or you don't know under which topic it is, you can go into the index, look for those keywords, and find the information that you're looking for. So those resources on the back of the book are really helpful for you. Okay, now I read this book within a couple days. I wanted to make sure that I could get this video out to you and let you know how I like it, so I read the book fairly quickly. But I'm a mom with a 5-year-old, which means just sitting down and reading a book is not the easiest thing in the world. Mom, get me a snack. Mom, can I have a glass of water? Mom, can you play Legos with me? Mom, can we watch TV? Like, just literally every interruption you could possibly think about, I experienced in the last couple days trying to get this book done. And the thing that I love about this book is that it was so easy to follow, having to pick it up and put it back down again. Because they're just tips, you can just kind of leave off on a tip and pick it right back up, so it was really easy to follow. And another thing that I really appreciated about this book is that sometimes running books can get into a lot of scientific jargon and a lot of big words and things that the average runner wouldn't understand. This book really breaks it down and is really easy to read regardless of what your knowledge is about the running industry and running in general. So I really do appreciate that as a mom, this is an easy read. It was a pretty quick read, and it was just really easy to follow. So you guys, in general, I loved this book. I would definitely recommend it to everybody because seriously, there are lots of tips in here that are going to help you on your running journey. So if you liked this review, please like, please subscribe, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye.